Okay, so here is the trusty 2 litre Duratec pulley. Comes off the NC engine. You can see the white dot on the tooth, which gives you a fair indication of where it's going to be going. Also, Ford decided, just to be smart as well, you can see there's a little hole, threaded hole down there, and there's a hole in the crankshaft pulley. So basically, stick him on, stick the bolt in the hole, screw it in a little bit. I don't know what I was doing then. Screw him in. Crankshaft pulley's in the correct position. So now, I'm not gonna do up the crankshaft pulley bolt at the moment because that's a real pain in the ass, and I don't have a flywheel on, so it's going to make it quite difficult to lock the crankshaft. So you know what the tension is. I'm sure you guys can sort out what you're going to do with that. And here we go. Once you put it around the right way, this is our crankshaft sensor. As you could probably see, I'll just grab this again. See where the white dot is on the tooth on the crankshaft. Basically, you get that in the center. This has it's a slotted sensor, so basically get that into the center of the sensor. Screw it up, and one would hope that it's in the correct position. So, new bolt, screw it on. All I'm going to do now is just zap it up with a rattle gun, just so I can show you now. Don't forget to take this little screw out. And eventually I'll tension it up to the crank torque. But as you can see now, always turn the engine to normal direction of rotation. So as you can see, camshafts are now turning, crankshaft's turning, and one would hope that it's in the correct position. That's pretty foolproof system, but if you've never done it before, I'm guessing it's going to be a bit strange, but that's about it. So we always, after you do something like that, this type of job, make sure you turn it around at least one complete revolution, just to make sure that nothing's fouling. So basically, we're back. You can see the white spot on the crankshaft pulley on the tooth, and back here again, you can see that groove basically level with that rear face. Not quite exact, but you know what I mean. So it's quite easy to do. Tensioning up that front bolt can be a real bitch, but as I said before, once you've got a flywheel on and you lock it down properly, get a dirty big bar, tension up to your 100 Newton meters first, and then just mark a white line on the bolt, turn him 90 degrees, and it's done. Should never come off again. So basically that's it. As you probably remember from the end of my last video with this 2.5 conversion, I was planning to do the cams, but unfortunately I had a bit of an incident in my race car at Eastern Creek and broke my leg, so I've been out of action for a while, and unfortunately this engine I'm going to have to sell just to finance the new black rocket that I purchased. So I have a spare 2-litre engine for that, so at the moment I can't getting a bit extravagant with doing things. So basically the new car is going to be running just with a stock 2-litre, and I have another stock 2-litre that I pulled out of the car that I destroyed, so We have a standard engine with all the ancillary still on it, so that'll just bolt in if there's a problem. But that's about it. Next, all you do is swap all the manifolds and sensors and water pipes and all that sort of stuff off the 2 litre. Everything just bolts straight on. You also, what I usually do with this EGR, squash it over, weld it up, and that'll block that off. And you don't have to worry about that. You can get a blocking off plate. That's something I didn't bother using because it's extra money that you don't really need to spend. You can see the size of the ports there. On the 2.5 they're massive compared to the 2 litre. On the 2 litre manifold, because of the size of the port, you actually have to skim a little bit off the bottom of the manifold. It's plastic, so it's quite easy to do. Not a problem really, I've done it, and generally you shouldn't have any problem. Some people get a bit carried away with all that stuff, but I don't, because I couldn't be bothered, basically. I don't think it makes, sometimes it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Same with sticking a 2 litre head onto these. Gives you a bit more compression, but 2.5 head flows way better. So it just depends if you want to rev the nuts out of the thing or you want a nice torquey engine. So my road car is 2.5 NC automatic, and the thing goes like a rocket. I'm old and I need an auto these days, so, and especially because I've only got 1 and a bit legs at the moment. So that's about it. I'll just stick the cam cover back on and stick the bolt back in the side for the stopper for the crankshaft, and she's going to be ready to sell. Thanks everybody. Hopefully we'll have something else for you in the future.